Okay,
No
time for
problem.
the Daily Take as Geraldo Rivera joins us right now. Geraldo, let's start on this.
Hey, Connell.
Former superintendent of the police in Chicago, but this is wider than just Chicago. You know, a lot of Portland is getting a lot of attention as well. What do you make of all of this between Trump power grab versus, you know, legit crackdown on crime in American cities?
Great question. I think that I've been the victim of a bait and switch. I have to apologize to our viewers. I backed the federal deployment because I believed in deterrence, and I got tired of seeing the the body count out of Chicago every weekend, 5 dead, 7 dead, etc. So that was deterrence. But I think there has been deception. The real raison, the real reason the federal government has deployed these resources is because of the immigrants. They wanted to use, you know, the other officers to cover ICE in the immigrant roundup. It was really always about illegal immigration and never about crime deterrence. I think
Why do you say that
it's
now?
a bait and switch. Well, because basically, Chicago has the South Side that is very, very troubled. Where are these resources deployed? Mostly on the West Side. They're going for Latinos. They're going specifically, as the superintendent suggests, because of the way the residents feel. They're going for the tamale guy. They're not going for the murderer. They're going for the low-hanging fruit. And we were really sold a bill of goods. You know, it may be that this is a legitimate mission, but you tell the people the truth, what it's about, that it is about rounding up immigrants. They've got 1,000 of them, as I recall, rounded up. Check me on that number. But what have they done? They're not the criminals. They're the people who have overstayed visas, or people who've come in to be with families, working people, the people with no criminal backgrounds who are getting stopped because their traffic signal and their car doesn't work. They have a Latino driver. The cop stops them for the traffic bus.
I think the governor, I'm sorry to jump on you, Geraldo,
where are you from?
Is talking exactly about that, what the pretext is to send in the feds. Let's listen to Governor Pritzker just for a minute here.
ICE officials, CBP, let's not forget them, officials, and the peaceful protesters, so that ICE and CBP are not firing at them, and that we're doing our best to protect them. That's what we can do. Now, we will record everything. We are trying to record as many things as we can, make sure there is video and testimony to what these federal agents are doing. And the federal government, normally, there are inspectors general, there are investigators that will investigate a circumstance of a federal agent breaking the law. If that doesn't take place, and we have evidence to back up if they do, but we are doing those, and again, I gave you the example of DCFS and the Department of Human Services doing their job to look at those records and to talk to the people who have been affected. There are also private attorneys, I want to add, who are going after this, because there is also private right of action for people. So in addition to the work that the Attorney General is doing, there are organizations like the ACLU who are filing lawsuits against the folks at CBP and ICE. I just want to say one other thing about CBP, because I don't think people are paying attention to this fact. CBP is only allowed to operate within a certain number of miles of the border. Well, they have declared that the border is at the shores of Lake Michigan. That is why they're allowed to operate now, or at least why they're being told they're allowed to operate in the city of Chicago.
So that's another legal question, Geraldo, you know, with the border that I hadn't heard being talked about that Governor Pritzker brings up on Lake Michigan, and other legal questions with these lawsuits. So a couple of things here. What Governor Pritzker is saying there, states suing, cities suing, we'll see how it all plays out. For now, they're not blocked, the guard in Chicago, temporarily blocked in Portland. And then you have this question, I want to ask you about this, Geraldo, what you think about the cooperation between the local police department. I was just talking to the former superintendent about this, and the federal agents, because there was this incident, you know, in recent days, and we have the the audio of the dispatch. I want to play this for you. It was what I referred to with the former superintendent, where, you know, the feds are apparently calling for help from the local police department, and then this happens. Take a listen.
Just to confirm, 39th Police in Kedzie, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd, and they were requesting the police were not sending. I'm waving off all the cars heading to 39th Police in Kedzie.
Again, those are the orders we're being given.
Okay, 10-4. And again, for all the units that we called to go over that way, 39th Police in Kedzie, if you could just hold off.
You just hold off. So, I mean, it sounds like they were ordered to hold off. The Chicago PD's denying that. But the larger point is this is a mess now when you think about it from a whole bunch of different angles, Geraldo.
It's a nightmare, Connell. What happens when a cop, a local cop, does something to a federal officer in the tumult, not coordinating, where, you know, that's the nightmare. The cop and the ICE agent are nose to nose. The possibilities for these kinds of incidents is way out of control. This is nuts. Pritzker sounded pretty reasonable to me today. I think that the fact that there was so little coordination between the federal officers and the local cops and the local government, and so little agreement. You know, what is this, Gaza? It's absolutely, it's pathetic. I mean, these people should grow up. It's terrible, and you can't stop people because they have brown skin. You can't. You know, I understand the efficiency of that approach to law enforcement or immigration enforcement. You don't want to stop the guy from Finland. You want to stop the Mexican and the Guatemalan and the Dominican. You know, I know what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing. And when they go into the Home Depot parking lot, this is very emotional for me. Yeah. When they go, who are they arresting? They are arresting the hardworking people seeking the American dream. They've been here 5 years, 10 years. They have kids in school. They go to church. You know, they have nothing but maybe a traffic violation. When did these people suddenly become, you know, America's most wanted? It is pathetic and absolutely unnecessary. This is when politicians do politics rather than serving the public to serve their own ideological point of view. It is absolutely appalling to me, and it is going to wreck the cooperation necessary for people to live life as safely as they possibly can. This is really bad news, Colin.
And feel that emotion from you, Geraldo.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.